Good morning, scrappers, scrapettes, planet lovers, recyclers, scrapazoids, and all my wonderful followers. Time for my Sunday morning live. Well, it's Sunday morning. I don't know how live I am. I'm dragging my derriere this morning. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what happened yesterday. I'm getting better, guys. Another week and I'll have some hair back here. But for those of you who don't know, I was supposed to get a cochlear implant last week. 2 weeks ago? Last week. And I got to the hospital. They prepped me and did everything to get me ready, and then they went to go start the surgery and decided that I had an ear infection and decided not to do it. So I'm like, I didn't have one yesterday. Why do I have one today? And I really don't think I did. I think it was cold weather. But anyway, for whatever reason, they wanted to postpone it, and they couldn't glue it all back on. But I have a wig, but it itches, so I'm not worried about it. You guys know me, you know. I could do it. Elvis Presley used to film from only the waist up. Maybe I should film from the eyebrows down, huh? I'll tell you, Scrooge McDuckin and Proud to be Country and Hobie-Wan Kenobi have been putting out some awesome content. Really good entertainment value, but very educational. So let me show you a couple of things that I pulled out of yesterday's pickup, and I do want to show them to you because even an i7 computer, even an iCore computer running Windows 10 can really yield some good product. I went yesterday, been trying to get together with this gentleman for a couple of weeks, and you know, the weather here has been it has been brutal. Hi Dennis, good morning. Fast Horse, good morning. I'm running with one camera right now. So anyway, they're coming to finish my dining room floor tomorrow, so I have to get that done, and then I can start reorganizing the first floor, because all the dining room furniture is in the living room, and the living room furniture is upstairs, and but at least I can use my kitchen again. So we're still working on all of that. So yesterday's pickup, I got quite a few iCore computers, Lenovo's, things like that. And this box here, I'm going to show you. This is a box I'm getting ready to send in for test and buy to our friend Zach over at SellYourBoards.com. He actually does a test and buy on RAM, which BoardSort no longer does. They used to, and they do a test and buy on the i7. I'll tell you why I have i7 stuck in my head in a minute. It's because I resurrected an i7 that's worth probably $85 if it actually works. So let me just trim this because it's in the way. So my game plan for today is I've just got to scrap a ton of stuff. And I'll show you what I'm getting ready to send out to Zach. I've just got to get a few more pieces in there. You guys, a lot of you guys know Zach. Hi, Scotty. Zach is the owner of SellYourBoards.com, and this is, even though it's older RAM, it's got 168 megabytes of gigs or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't speak computer all that well. I'm good at taking them apart. Gigabytes, right? 18 gigabytes of RAM, and he's paying pretty well for this, even if it's older. This is super chunky. For those of you guys who do gold recovery, this is the kind of RAM you love to see come across your work table. So I'm going to send those because he has a test and buy for the 16 gig. And some of this RAM was able to be reused. You guys all know we're in the midst of we're calling it Ramageddon these days. I'm going to pile this over here. I have to print out I've got to print out a page from his website, and I'm just going to list all this stuff on there so they know what they're looking for when they go through the box. I'm not going to take this out, but this was the creme de la creme, if you will. And I know it's upside down, I'm sorry. I could stand on my head and stand backwards, but... Start now. Sorry, some weird stuff is coming up on my screen. I don't even know what this is. It's telling me to reset my goals, and I really don't know how to do that, especially midstream, so to speak. I don't know. Go away. There's a big thing across my... No superfans, gold +5. I wish it hadn't done that. There we go. All right. No idea what that was about. Thank you, EasyS, for the heart. Me appreciate that. This is something I really have to learn more about, is these incentive programs. I'm pretty proud of myself that I can even do what I do right now. All right. So this was one of the high scoring things that I got last night. I can't answer that Easy777 who asks, what price on a high yield RAM box? RAM is sold by weight. Hi, Scotty. And such and so on. So it pays by the pound. So this was something we got out of one of the computers yesterday. That is an i7-10700. I've bubble wrapped it, and I'm putting it in here. If that tests out, that's an $85 chip, I hope. I found an i5-470. I don't have the price list in front of me right now, I'm sorry. And some of these may actually just be scrap, I don't know right now. This is an i3, and I tend to think that's probably scrap. This is an i5-6500. So these all came out of the old, the Dell small form computers. It's an i7-2400. What was that? Celebrate the moment. I don't know. So we did get quite a few i-cores out of here. 3776. I've got to pull up the price list, and what they'll do is they've got to test them to see if they actually work. If they don't work, they're going to get sold to scrap. So if you're handling i-cores, don't touch the gold here. If you touch this, the oil from your fingers is going to break the contact point, and it will not test. So what else have I got here for Zach? I didn't mark that one, shame on me. This is how I usually wrap them and send them when I have the materials. This is the anti-static, and then there's that. So we've got 860s. I got an i3-4700. That probably is scrap. I'll put that over there. i3-6100. I gotta check those because they're probably scrap. The 7 should be okay. The 5 should be okay. And so on and so forth. What I'll do after, I'll go upstairs and I'll run his website page and I'll make a list of what's in there, because you gotta imagine how many boxes of stuff all these recycling places get in every day. And you gotta make sure you mark your stuff, because otherwise they're not gonna know who it's from. One thing I really do like about sellyourboards.com is that they'll actually sort your stuff for you. It's really kind of cool. The other thing he does tested by with is solid state disk drives, SSDIs. He pays by the gigabyte. So this one is 250 gigabytes. So he'll test that and see if it works. If it doesn't work, or if you're not inclined, hi Hobie, how are you? Lost my train of thought. Sorry about that, guys. I'm tired this morning. A skunk sprayed outside last night, and boy, stunk up the whole house. I'm glad he was outside. So a lot of you guys know Zach. He's here on TikTok under SillyWords.com. But he will pay if they work. This you'll see it. He has a tested bra. It's under premium prices on his website. And I got to get this one apart. Terrific gold recovery, by the way. If I was to take this apart, I would find a board very rich in chips underneath. These SSDIs, don't discount them on size. They're excellent for gold recovery. Okay, so those all came out of bottom-end computers, if you will. The connection we made yesterday was a really good one, literally. And it turned out the gentleman, the young man who was selling the computers, I guess he's an IT person at Hartford Health, which is a big hospital chain in the area, and he said they're actually looking for somebody to take over computer recycling, and they're looking for somebody actively. And I have to get this off. I'm not sure of the size, but that's over in Zach's box. That's Zach's box, guys. That's for Zach. I do have a what's in the box for you in just a few minutes. I've got a lot of what's in the boxes for you, but I'm drowning in e-scrap this week, and the cold weather really set me back. I had 18 inches of frozen snow in the truck. I couldn't get it. I couldn't do anything with my poor truck till yesterday. That's my goal for today, is to get the truck cleaned up and get loaded to go to the scrap yard, and just start pushing the metal and stuff out of here. So, speaking of hard drives, so this is the step before. This is what's called low-grade SATA. There's good gold recovery here. You can pull these pins out. I generally speaking, I don't resell hard drives unless I've dismantled them. That's one reason I have this channel, and that's one reason my business succeeds, is people get onto the channel and they see me dismantle these, and they don't worry. Sometimes I'll sell the hard drive like this. That laser eye is full of gold. There's a lot of really good gold recovery in these hard drives. I'm obligated to destroy this because I told them I would, so I have to take it apart. I have a machine downstairs. I might be able to reformat it. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to say, I don't want to take out one more thing. So that's some of the goodies that will be going to Zach. I also found 4 sticks of DDR4 RAM, although it's only 4 and 8 gigabytes respectively. And he tested by his RAM, which is really cool. All right. I'm not going to do these right now because I want to finish the metal computer, because all the metal computers, because I want to get all that out of here. But I did pick up quite a few laptops yesterday, and they're too old to reformat. They're Windows Pro, and they're probably running Xeons in here. But there is so much gold recovery in laptops. It's insane. So especially these older ones are a bit thicker. Those you definitely want to make sure you put aside. I'm going to pile those up down in the basement. I can see gold there. I can see gold in the telephone jacks. I think one of my next sets of what's in the boxes is probably going to be complete laptop boards. I'll take the battery off if I can fit them in a box. I think laptop boards are really good gold recovery. That's going to be another video. Like I said, my goal for today is to get rid of all the computer cases that are here at the house and get the truck loaded up. It's been cold. Brutally, brutally cold. And by the way, guys, don't be afraid to nip gold fingers, gold pins and stuff. I'm actually thinking about sending, when I get enough quality material, I'm going to send some up. One of the boxes that I'm working on, I'll show you. You evolve as you watch what other people are doing. So this box is going to take me a while to fill. But what it is a box of capacitors, and these are refiners boxes. They're made for this is a box for somebody who does gold refining at home and just can't get the materials. MOSFETs. They're full of copper. You can see the copper here. You can just bust that plastic off. I see on numerous videos that there's also silver recovery in these. There'll be tantalum capacitors. These are gold banded crystal oscillators. These are capacitors. They're good for silver recovery. The little blue round M&M ones are really good too. And so I obviously just started this box, but that'll be full. I got to do a little more with it. Right now it's just a sorting box, but you know, my thoughts on a lot of things have changed. I've decided to go ahead and start harvesting the components off the power supplies. Now, power supplies, if you're looking for components to harvest or recovery, yeah, these are a really good place to get them. There's capacitors here, there's capacity here. You can get the aluminum off. The yard is going to pay 12 cents a pound if you're lucky for a complete power supply without wires. If I take this board out, the value goes up to 40 cents a pound. If I strip it, which I probably will, I'm going to try and take the aluminum, I can just throw it in with my shred. But there's a lot of stuff in here. You know, it's just a matter of time, really. These little blue M&Ms are really good. We'll get that, we'll get the copper, we'll get the aluminum, and there's a couple more MOSFETs in there. There's these are IC chips. Once they have more than 3 legs, they're good for gold recovery. If they only have 3 on it, it's a waste to bother. And of course you've got copper, transformers. There's another capacitor here. So those are where I'm going to get the things that are going to go in that capacitor box over there. May as well maximize my value. A lot of our subscribers live in very, very rural area. And good morning, Scott. Good morning, Scorpio Metals. Good morning, Joshua. Hope everybody's doing well. So those are some things you can recover. Now, mind you, I got all of this out of what everybody considers the bottom of the barrel, cheapest workstation work computers you can get. That being the Dell Optiplexes, the Latitudes, the Inspirions, things like that. I've got one more left to do from the pile that we picked up yesterday. It was from a Porter and Chester Institute that had closed up, and the father of the young man I bought the computers from had gotten hundreds of computers. I wish he had found me sooner. He found me through the computerscrapper.com. And hi, Dennis. Speaking of Dennis, Dennis's box is sitting over there waiting to be shipped, and so on and so forth. So what else have I been up to? I've been working on resale of a lot of heat sinks. They're loaded with copper. I've got boxes of those up for sale. See, a lot of our subs live in a really rural area, and sometimes you just try getting e-scrap. It's getting really, really hard. I'm even having a hard time, and I do this for a living. So yesterday was a huge, huge, huge pickup. They're going to put a word in for us over at Harvard Health. My board buyer, who I only started working with just after Christmas, is local. He has the trailer, he has the truck, he has the forklift, you know, and they'll give us the computers and the materials for free. So, you know, we'll work something up, you know, split with him. I got to work on that today and figure out how I'm going to do it. So you just never know when the door is going to go, what is going to open for you. You know, people ask all the time, where do you get this stuff from? You got to talk to people. You got to go out. You got to go pick up those 2 or 3 computers, and one thing builds to another, to another, to another, to another. And over time, you can get yourself a nice little business. And this channel has helped so much. Hello, Scrappy Squirrel. Good morning to you. And don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Wow, 11 people watching at 2.5K likes. Thanks, guys. I almost didn't make it on this morning just because I was so tired. I was up all hours last night because of that stupid skunk smell. But that's okay. All right, back to work, Dee Dee. Another place you can find gold, these are all gold connector ends, and most recyclers, board sort, cellularboards.com will buy these as connector ends. These are SATA connectors. You'll find them in newer computers, and they are gold plated, so you definitely want to cut those off. It'll make your yard happier too, by the way. You'll find them at the end of a ribbon of a cable like this. So don't discount the gold in there. I have trouble seeing because the comments are down here, and yeah. Anyway, okay. So as I said, as you go through things, you change your thought process about what it is you're actually doing, and I'm finding myself micro-scrapping more and more. It doesn't really take me that much longer. I'm increasing the value for myself. You know, the boards, you make some profit, but oh my God, the amount of time you got to spend doing them, you know, and then the buyer has to come down, bring his truck. You have to, you know, it's a lot of work, and I'm not complaining. God's been very good to me, but the amount of money that goes out the door that you wind up sending to the scrapyard has got to come down. You got to increase the profits. Okay, so we're working on a box full of capacitors for silver recovery. How about these things, guys? I see copper on the leg. Are these any good for silver recovery? Let me know in the comments. I've been watching just so many different videos, people just doing so much different stuff with silver and this, that, and the other thing. All right. So I will now, this is Zach's box. My Jenga game back here. Yeah, I had to bring everything in last night. I didn't want it to freeze and get wet and whatever. They're beyond resale. They're too old. I already know that. They power on. And then he's got a whole bunch of MacBooks, not MacBooks, either iPads or Chromebooks. I forgot what he said they were. They're Apples, whatever they are. And they're locked because they were from a school. Nita, good morning. Believer, good morning. I am doing well, thank you. I'm on the backside of all the headaches of 2025, and 2026 is going pretty well. I just can't wait for them to do my dining room tomorrow so I can get the furniture back into the rooms it belongs in, at least have the first level back to normal. Can't wait. But I have to wait one more day. So, anyway, let me just finish telling you about yesterday's pickup. So I drove up to about an hour's drive or so to the middle part of our state. It's pretty up there, you know, not too far from Hartford, which is our state capital. So I made the drive out, and I picked up these computers. The batch that I picked up yesterday had come from a closed Porter and Chester. Hi, are you freaking kidding me? Good morning to you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all the kind thoughts and words. You know, I don't know if you can see back there, I actually do have a kitchen, but everything is still out of sorts because of the dining room not being finished, and that will finish up tomorrow. Get everything put back, and I'll give you guys the grand tour. You've been hearing nothing about, you've been hearing about my poor kitchen since May of last year. Okay, so I saved this one. I saved the best for last, I hope. I don't know. Trying to find something better than that i7 that's worth $85 is going to be pretty amazing. And that's if it works, you know. So, how's everybody been handling this wonderful winter we've had? Nita, your box is over there too. It's ready to be shipped. They didn't pick up because of the holiday, so I have to, I'll bring it over to the UPS store tomorrow, and it'll get picked up first thing Tuesday morning. It was holiday weekend, and of course, things didn't get picked up. But, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I do two things. I recycle computers, try to keep them out of the landfill. I test them first. If they can be resold, we resell them. If I can find parts that can be resold, we resell them. If I try to recycle as much of it as I can. I do sell the boards to board buyers. I probably am the best paying source of selling your boards here in Connecticut. I don't think anybody pays a better price than I do. I focus on computers. That really is my, it's just my thing. not to discount the amount of electronic stuff that's out there. I mean, every electronic thing out there has gold. But being that I'm a hobby scrapper who does this from home, you know, I tend to just focus on the computers. And I mean, even that is a lot. It's brutal in the winter because I had 18 inches of frozen ice in the back of my truck. I couldn't do anything for weeks here. What's going on here? I either missed a screw or I just have a broken latch here. Little leverage. Come on. I can see it. It's right here. It's just out of sorts a bit, huh? Oh, you stubborn little thing, aren't you? Huh? There we go. Ha. So this is what you get in your typical Dell Optiplex, which is what I think these are. I gotta look again. This says it has a Core i7 in. Oh boy, wouldn't it be something if I ever got another like I got last night? I'm gonna just quickly get to this and find. So I am hopeful to find. I'm hoping, and I didn't open this beforehand. I'm hoping to find another one of those SSD drives to send to Zach for test and pay. Test and buy. That's what test and buy. I'm hoping these are 2 sticks of DDR4 RAM. Now, I'm really not always the best with the technical stuff. I make a good guess, but I don't want to make a mistake, so I will Google Lens those. But if it's anything like the one we took apart before, you know. Now, I have tried selling the components from these. There are so many out there that it's just not worth my time. I really don't. I have, you know, I put them on Craigslist, I put them on Facebook. Nobody wants them, guys. Nobody wants them. So, live goal achieved. Yay! I hope I don't have to reset it because I really don't want to have to do that. These are really easy to take apart. You get these screws out of here. This just has a little C-clip. C-clip. And you just pop this out right here. And the screw falls right out. And then you can just unscrew this. You got yourself a really nice chunk of clean aluminum that won't hang around your house because you can take it right to the scrapyard, you know? So that's really my process now, is to completely dismantle whatever I'm working on instead of saying, oh, I'll get back to it after. You wind up with just a pile of stuff. Hi, Sparky. How are you this morning? Boy, we got a good crowd in the house. Good morning to everybody. I tell you, I have learned so much the past couple of weeks about what to say for gold refining and gold recovery. I never thought about it before because I never had to, you know. But now, you know, just throwing that out is foolhardy, huh? I have tried to sell these boards. I cannot sell them. Nobody wants them. Everybody wants the new stuff. We actually thought about trying to refurbish this particular computer. We thought it would take a Windows 10 upgrade, and it did not. I tried. It wouldn't take the upgrade. It just doesn't have. What it doesn't have is it doesn't have the memory to do so. So I did try to do that. If I could upgrade to Windows 10, I can usually resell the computer. It wouldn't take it. I did try. So what he has is a whole bunch of I don't think they're MacBooks. I think they're iPads. But what happened was, because they came from school, is the students returned them, but they didn't unlock them. So I don't know if there's a way to unlock those. I tend to think not. Ooh. I think this is going to be a good one for test and buy. Hey, Zach, I hope you're watching. Poor Zach. I wish I could send him more stuff, but the shipping is, you know, and I do have a local guy. September 2014. There is a lot of gold inside of these. You can see the boards here. Probably, hi Scrapaholic, good morning to you. And who just followed me? Oh, just followed you. That's their handle. How clever. Lots of gold here. You know, you can put these aside for an afternoon where you don't have computers. I've been putting them into the boxes just to take up a little room. Like Dennis's boxes and Nita's boxes sitting over there. So I've got a little room left. I'll put something like this in the box. And the boxes are already paid for and their orders are already filled. But Dennis, I put a couple in your box too. But you know, I can fill. That's the good thing about the priority mailboxes. You can always add a little bit more. Everybody's dying to see what kind of an eye I got, aren't you, huh? And let me just tell you something about co-hosting, guys. Number one, eventually it's something I will be ready for. The only ones I would allow to co-host would be people who I've interacted with for several months. It isn't that I don't want you. It isn't that at all. For me to co-host, I have to have a program and I have to be prepared. That's just the teacher in me. Some lives are really well done co-hosted because it's coordinated between the content creators. Some of them are shit show. I can't stand it. So, you know, I don't want a shit show. Let me. iCore i7-4790. I'll be very careful with that one. I have to check again. I have to check the number, and I'm running with only one phone right now. So, see what I mean about being prepared? I really should have had that chart and that list out to do that. All right. So how do I know it was an iCore? Well, it said iCore 7 on the side. This is the telltale that you have an iCore. Usually, and I found some of the later models before this that were still running the Xeon Duo and Xeo Core. They were already using this candy cane arm. That's all, folks. Candy cane arm on those computers. They started using these. Where I put my differentiation is because they did that is when I pull an iCore board. They've been downgraded. I've got to get that off, of course, and I know that. Make sure your battery's out. But see, these iCore boards really have very little on them for gold recovery. There's a silver band crystal oscillator. There's flip chips. There's no gold banded VGA. And there's the gold in here is not as high quality as the candy cane arm that came one generation before. See, that's what's been going on with boards lately, is because of the precious metals all going up. That's in the capacitor box. Because of precious metals all going up, they've made the boards far more plasticky. And not too bad. Okay. See, the gold pins are here. There's nothing here. This can go in with your that can be shredded. There's nothing there. I got to get this off in I've got to get on and get the channel grip pliers from the basement. I'll get that off. That all has to go off before you send it off to your buyer. So I'll clean that one off after But there's nothing on here really of any great shakes. I think they're paying maybe $2.50 a pound if you're lucky. And you know, this one is gold in there. The only good gold, there would be probably some gold here, and there's some good gold here in these pins. I'm going to leave that, though. I'm going to leave that on. Even though it's junk per se, that's when my buyer is going to get some value, is going to be here. All right. Okay. Well, that was disappointing. I wanted an eye. I wanted another $85 chip. Just remember, guys, if they get wet or anything, though, they're toast. You know, you can't do anything with it. Outlaw West, welcome. Thanks for the follow. What's going on here? 13 new messages. Here we are. My guess is that Tic Tac is having some kind of a competition, because I've never gotten so many requests to be co-hosts. Like I said, guys, it's got to be somebody I really know, somebody I'm comfortable with, That's you know, part of my gold family here, and you know, so please don't be offended, right? And I've got to be prepared. I've got to know what my topic is. I've got to know that they know what my topic is and they know what they're doing. You know, I'll get there. I've got a pallet full of these things at this point. Yeah. Again, with the shift over to trying to do more micro scrapping and trying to make material available for the home gamers, I am going to get into this a little bit later today off camera. For those of you who just joined in, I'll show you. This is what you get. I'll get a couple of nice pieces of aluminum. There'll be a nice capacitor here. I'll get the copper. You know, there's a lot of stuff here. I've started to put into some of my boxes too, like copper recovery. I've got a box of these toroids going. Just things I don't have time to do. And why not sell it to somebody who does have time for it, right? E-scrap's getting hard to find, guys. Really hard to find. I mean, I would say don't bypass those TVs that you used to drive past on the side of the road. There's a lot of, albeit gold, although it's lower grade, there's still gold in those, you know. There's still stuff out there. Cell phones, tablets. I've got remote controls in the car that I picked up the other day. I'm dying to see what's in those. Boy, you wanna see somebody get the gold out of a cell phone? Watch Southern Scrapper. He is all over it, man. He really is. Again, there's gold in those. Okay, why will you not come out? Just to be difficult? Because I'm on live? You want to be difficult? So anyway, the pickup yesterday was, number one, I got a lot of really great computers, and we made a contact. The hospital where he works, I guess he's the IT guy there, is looking for somebody to do the recycling. I've already been in contact with my board buyer who has the warehouse and has the truck and has the forklifts and so forth and so on, to see if it's something we're going to be able to put together. I'm sure I won't hear back from them until tomorrow. And again, check these for gold. You definitely want to do that. I've got a whole box of these. When it's full, I'll put it up for auction. I still want to. My computer scrapper website is actually getting a lot of traffic. He actually had found me on there, but I haven't had the time to dedicate to getting that website up where it needs to be. You know, we've got the house and the construction and everything going on. So not only did we get these lovely computers that had come from Porter and Chester, I've got 3 servers outside I've got to do. But I'm looking forward to doing those. I think I'm going to get a lot of RAM. I think I'm going to get gold finger cards, and I think I'll get a couple of hard drives. Yeah. I've got to get the bracket off. I'm going to send this one to Zach for his test and buy. 128 gigs. That should be a premium board. That's awesome. Zach, are you watching to see what's in the box? He's probably a couple hours behind us. He's in... Oh, good, Dave. Everything okay? Good morning. I couldn't see who that was by Sean, I think it was. So, what's everybody's interest? Computer scrapping, recycling, gold recovery? Watching me make an idiot of myself on YouTube? Watching my hair grow? Another weekend it'll be back. I just couldn't believe that they did that and then decided that I couldn't get the surgery. I'm like, well, why didn't you check that before? Everything was fine in my physical yesterday. What do you mean I got an ear infection? I didn't have an ear infection. It was cold out. But I'll tell you, when I went into the hospital to to go get checked in for the procedure, I never saw so many sick people. Even when COVID was here, the line at the admitting office was unbelievable, and the line in the emergency room was out into the parking lot, and it was freezing cold. Everybody's coughing and sneezing and every other thing. So that's going to go with shred. There's nothing in there. So I'm kind of actually glad, because I think I'm going to postpone it till maybe right before school. Well, I got to time it against my music business. I think I'm going to postpone it probably till next fall. And, hopefully there's no outbreaks of anything. I think getting surgery that's optional done in the middle of the winter is probably not a good idea anyway. I gotta Google lens it, guys. I'm not sure what it is. This looks like it could be DDR2. I gotta Google lens it because I'm not sure. I did find 4 sticks of 4 yesterday. And if you're pulling RAM, by the way, be careful with it. There's a lot of resale in DDR4 is selling pretty well still. DDR3 is probably okay to just go ahead and scrap. This is a good, if it works, this is a good piece of RAM. It's chunky on both sides. This is what like when I resell RAM to people who do gold refining, this is what I sell them. This kind of stuff that's double-sided. There's a lot of gold under here, and of course the gold fingers. Another place you can get, just since I'm right here, and I have it right here, I may as well just show you. Another source of gold fingers is going to be gold finger cards. Now I'm going to put these up as a lot for resale. Again, people are having trouble getting things, so it's possible if their system runs something older, I might be able to resell these. These are NVIDIA Quattros. I'm going to check for resale on these, but for the purposes of illustration, gold finger cards are great for gold recovery. There's a copper heatsink under here. There's going to be a BGA under here. And these are something you can also get really good gold recovery. And they're only about $5 or $6 a pound as opposed to almost $60 right now for RAM. Really good gold recovery on those. I always have a few of those in my boxes. Speaking of boxes. So I just want to, again, I have it right here, so I may as well go ahead and show you. We did really well. These came out of the, what did Scrapaholic do that was brilliant? I missed it, whatever it was. So these came out of the blade servers. They're logic cards, and they laid on top of the board like this. I got a whole bunch of these. These are in my current boxes. Really good gold recovery there. If you were going to grade it, it would grade as a high-grade peripheral board. It's got chips. It's got visible gold. I'm not going to take this gold because my market is people who gold refine. So I'm going to put it in the boxes and send them out that way. I get a large priority rate box, and I fill it up with gold-bearing material. And we send them out that way. I've got 2 that are sold behind me, and I've got 2 more in the basement that are up on the Bay of E. You'll find that on my profile page. Here's a couple more gold finger cards just to show you. This one only has a flip chick. Sounds like you know who. No names. I don't do politics, man. So you'll get you get good gold fingers here. $5 a pound versus $60 a pound. This is a logic card. There's a great big gold corner BGA on here. Again, I put those in with gold finger cards. That's just got a little bit of gold in it. Backplane boards are good for gold recovery. Anything where it fits into a slot, the other end of it's going to be good too. Gold into gold is usually a sign of good gold recovery. So these are just some of the things that will be in the box. Where'd you come from? Just a low-grade peripheral cord with punching at it. Thank you, boss. Aww. Thank you so much. It must be a Valentine's Day present. I'm getting all these roses. Not to be bizarre, it was kind of funny. I went to the cemetery yesterday to put roses on my mother and father's grave. My dad always walked in with candy and flowers. Flowers for his wife and candy for me. My brother never got anything on Valentine's Day. He got told to go buy gifts for the girls. But there was 20 inches of icy snow. I don't even think I could have found the grave. So I parked the car and they said, well, these are for you, but you're going to have to wait a couple of days till I can get in there and deliver them in person. But, Valentine's Day is on the 14th, and Pop passed away on the 17th, which was President's Day, and I believe that is true this year too, so that's going to be his anniversary. Okay. I couldn't believe there was so much ice and snow. I never thought about it. Of course I'm not going to plow the cemetery out. They plowed the roads, and you could see where the snow, the excavators had, made paths to the spots that they needed. Oh, when you're taking these guys apart, don't forget to pull this button off. There's a silver contact under there. You want to make sure you keep that. Come on. I can't wait because my dining room table is enormous, and once I get that done, I can move the workshop back down to the basement. So that's all going on this week. We're furniture moving. I can't wait to get my house put back together. Everything's fixed. Now I just got to wait for the rest of it to, the floor to get done in the dining room, and then I can put the first floor back together. Nobody's really using the second floor right now, so I'll get that attended to when I have a few more bucks behind me. Don't forget to take the batteries off. Recycle. Do not put these in to the landfill, and don't put them in the trash. They can catch on fire. You all sitting here watching my hair grow? Sitting there. Another week. My hair grows fast. And my family thought I did it on purpose. I'm like, what, are you kidding me? And then a bunch of my subs said, you should leave it. It rocks. You're a badass, D. No, I'm not a badass. I'm a wannabe badass. Okay. No, not anymore. I've passed. I've outgrown badassness. Too old to be a badass. That'd be a great t-shirt. Too old to be a badass. But I'm going to keep trying. Okay, who's gunking up the works here? Remember, if you have to force something, you got to go back and look. These shouldn't have to be forced out. I guarantee I've missed a little screw somewhere. Doot, doot, doot. Wherefore art thou? It feels like it's right here, but I don't see it. Let me turn this around here. Oh, I know why. I know why. Sometimes on these optoplexes and such, there's sometimes a little flip latch to free the front of the board. And I'm sure that's what the issue is. Shoot. Come on. It feels like that's what the issue is. I just wouldn't be... Aha! Just wouldn't be a Sunday morning without me finding one of these little fiddly things. There is sometimes on some of the small forms, there's a flip latch you have to flip to get the board out. All right. That was a lot of work for one fiddly little board, huh? But they are selling right now for $2.50 a pound, which is probably the best price you're going to see for I-core boards. I don't think they're going to go up much more. There's just really nothing on them, you know? Unless you get a good chip. The good chip. Alright, that is done. My hands are not always good, guys. And I'm going to knock that off and put it in a thing for people who silver refine. So that's really what I've started doing. I've started sorting a bunch of this stuff and just putting it aside for people who have the interest to pursue that. It's not that I don't have the interest. I don't refine. I don't do refining. I send things off to people who do. Yeah, so we'll save that. It should have a silver button in it. It can go in a little silver button box with all its friends. Any place you got a push pin or something that like a control panel, there should be a silver contact in it. Again, you know, that's just going to go in the box for somebody else to have the pleasure of digging out. Board itself is not great. There's really not a heck of a lot on here. Even these could, you can even, if you watch boards or you see a lot of boards, you usually see a lot of bright gold here. Not on the iCore boards. They're just crap. But anyway, okay, that's done. That's done. And there's no brass risers here. And that's done. I think what I'm going to do is, it seems to be a nice day out. I'm going to go see if I can finish getting the rest of the snow out of my truck. And I think what I'm going to do, hi, I love Propel, how are you? I think what I'm going to do is try to get all the metal out of the house. I have bins outside and I want to get the metal out of the house. I want to get the computers in from outside. And I might go at some of these laptops later. These are older laptops and I've already taken the batteries out. They're outside in the batteries are outside in a metal garbage can. I'll get rid of those as soon as I possibly can, which is going to be Tuesday unless I take them to Best Buy. I don't fiddle with those. They're dangerous. They're bad news. I don't want them. But these computers are older, and I think there's going to be really good gold recovery in them. But I've got to get at them. And how many of you have done laptops? You know how many fiddly little screws are almost as bad as doing hard drives. So that will be this afternoon's agenda. I'm going to get rid of the mountain of metal. I'm going to get the car packed up. The scrapyard will be open tomorrow. The dump won't be, but the scrapyard will be. And it looks like it's going to be a halfway decent day out. So that is where I am heading for. And if you're interested in any of my Goldie boxes, treasure chests, I'm going to call them treasure chests. They are on the profile page, so you know where to go look for them. If you're looking for something in particular, you can always email me. I know Kevin emailed me last night. He's looking for a particular type of pins, and I do happen to have them. And I have 2 or 3 more servers with those pins in it, so I'll finish those up for him today, and I'll get that weighed and get him a quote. You know, don't forget to check your RAM sticks. If you come across DDR4 or DDI5, resell it. DDR5, just to make sure you sell it as has not been tested. And that is it from Scrappy Dealand. Thank you for the gift of your time. Thank you for the gifts that you've all sent. God bless you all. Don't forget to hit the like button before we all check out of here. And thank you for spending some time with me. I will try to repost this as a video later. I always try to keep it under an hour and try to post the video because you never know when somebody else is going on. And I don't like to trounce on other people's lives. That's just really bad form. So I do tend to repost my videos a little bit later. Plus because I do a lot of teaching. I do a lot of teaching, so I like to have the videos available. Alright guys, maybe we'll play What's in the Box later if I get another box ready. Have a good day. Stay wonderful. God bless you all. Bye-bye. Thank you, homie. I'm going to DM you later. I got some GOLD for you. Bye-bye.